Hey, what's going on, you beautiful people? Let's talk about the Toyota Tacoma and vibrations in the driveline. Now, if you own a Toyota Tacoma, I'm sure you know about the vibrations. I'm sure you experienced them once or twice in the time of you owning the truck, or you just clicked on this video because you're struggling with some vibrations in your Tacoma. I'm gonna talk about mine and what I did to fix it. Let's hop into this video. All right, to give you guys a little bit of a backstory here, this is a 2021 Toyota Tacoma, and I've had it since about 15,000 miles. I bought it pretty new, well, new to me, slightly used, but I bought it in the end of 2021. So it was still the same year the truck came out, but it had about 12,000, 13,000, somewhere in there, miles on it. Well, when I bought the truck, it had a little bit of vibration in it, and I haven't driven a third gen before, so I figured, this might be just how the truck is. Well, after some time, I ended up upgrading the suspension on the truck, and I realized that either I broke it or I bought it broke, but the rear shock was blown. And I found this out when I went to go upgrade my suspension after a few months of owning the truck. This actually solved a lot of the vibration issues that I had from the factory. Then some months passed, and I still had some vibration issues. It was actually becoming pretty annoying, but I just bought the truck for a lot of money. These aren't very cheap, and I was kind of ignoring it because of that monthly payment. I didn't want to be, upset about my purchase. Well, a few months later, I ended up upgrading my tires to 33-inch Falcon Wild Peaks, and then I had them rebalanced when they were put on. This solved a lot of the vibration issues, but not completely, and I just ended up living with it. Then, after some time, I ended up upgrading my suspension again, and right now I'm running the Dobson MRR kit. This is a 3-inch lift kit. Well, when you upgrade these trucks 3 inches, you can run into some issues. And I was already having some issues with vibrations, as I mentioned, but I also had one up in the front that wasn't like an all-around vibration. I had a very rhythmic vibration coming from the front area. That usually indicates the front needle bearing having some issues that's in the front diff. There's a bulletproof solution out there with an ECS or ECSG bushing. Probably messed that brand up. But it takes the needle bearing out and you can install a clamshell bushing, and that's what I did when I installed my 3-inch lift kit here. That got rid of that rhythmic vibration I was getting in the front end. Well, and you would probably assume with the crazy suspension on the truck, the needle bearing out of the front diff, I shouldn't have any vibration issues with the truck, but that's just not the case, guys. Well, at this point, I've done so much to the truck, I don't even know what could be causing the vibration. I've read so many forums of people just saying that these are prone to having vibrations in the driveline. It could be the drive shaft, it could be anything. So I've just started to live with it and deal with it, even though it kind of started driving me nuts. Well, about a month ago or so, I was up to my neck with this vibration to the point I would hit 40 miles an hour and the wheel would start doing this, and it was starting to drive me insane and making me hate my truck. Actually, I started looking at new Tundras. I was like, I am so sick of this truck, and I kind of started to blame myself because I've done so much to this truck. Did I ruin the truck with all the things I've done to it? These are the things that was going through my head. So I started feeling really bad about my truck that I love so much, and then I started thinking a little bit. And I was like, you know what? Well, I've had these Falcon Wild Peaks on my truck for about 48,000 miles, somewhere like that. Yeah, I don't really know the miles, but it's about to the last wear mark on the tires. So I decided, a last ditch effort, maybe I need to go have my wheels rebalanced. I've never really had to rebalance tires before. In all my years of owning cars, I usually only own a vehicle for 1 year and I get rid of it. So I never usually have to change brakes unless I buy it used and it needs brakes. And I usually never have to change my tires more than once. So this is a whole new concept to me, and I decided to have my tires balanced. Well, the one in the back needed 8 weights on it to get balanced. Now, to give you some reference here, I could have knocked my weights off when I was off-roading the truck. They could have just fell off from driving, or as these tires wear down, these off-road tires, the balance can get a little bit off. So every wear mark, it's recommended you have these balanced. Well, I knew that, I just didn't think it was actually true. In this case, it was, and I have been living with this vibration for months, almost a year now, and just didn't ever think about having my tires rebalanced. Long story short, I had these tires rebalanced. The one needed 8 weights. They all needed weights. It was crazy, but it drives like a brand new truck now. Actually, it drives better than it has the entire time I've owned this truck. I'm about, I think, 62,000 miles right now, and it's never driven this great. Honestly, I think these tires have been out of balance for a really long time, because I was disappointed when I put my new suspension on. Kind of how the truck drove, I was expecting it to drive fantastic, and it didn't, and half of it was because of that vibration. Now, let me tell you what, guys, it drives really good. I'm sure you guys are in the comments laughing at me. I probably should have thought about getting the tires balanced earlier. I just never really had an issue with tires being balanced. I know it needs done. I just never thought that was going to be the problem. The way I think about things, it's always the worst case scenario. I thought maybe, you know, something could have been bent from me off-roading. Maybe my axle could have been kicked out a little bit from when we installed a new suspension. I don't know. My mind goes to worst case scenario rather than doing the simple things first. So I hope this video kind of gives you some insight. If you're having some vibration issues, don't overlook the easy things. Have your tires rebalanced from a good shop. My tires could have been off balance from when I originally got these tires mounted, and maybe the shop that mounted the tires didn't do a good job on having them balanced. So that could have happened, guys. But if you're having vibration issues, definitely have your tires balanced before going crazy, and make sure your air pressure is equal across the board. I have had it vibrate pretty bad, just being off a couple pounds in the rear versus in the front. That has happened in the past with me getting on and off the trail and airing up and airing down. I'm sure you guys are laughing at me. Maybe you're not. Maybe you are having some issues and you haven't checked your tire balancing yet either. I don't know, guys. Let me know in the comments if you ever have your tires rebalanced or not, if you overlook it as well. I'd love to hear from you guys. Also, let me know if you're having some issues with your Tacoma having vibration issues. I know it's very common on the forums. Let me know in the comments. All the issues that I have with my truck and vibration include that rear shock being broken from way back, my factory shock being broken in the rear. Then that needle bearing up in the front diff also caused some vibration. Then the tire balancing was the other thing that was causing my vibration issues. So now though, guys, this thing drives great, which is perfect because we have a road trip planned in about a few weeks. That's why I really wanted this fixed, because it was driving me nuts. I was just driving it. I was like, I could not drive this for any longer than 15 minutes, let alone the 10-hour road trip we have planned in a couple weeks. So happy this thing drives great. It drives the best it has since I've owned it. I love my truck again. I'm not even kidding. I was like about to call somebody and be like, take this truck, give me a new Tundra. I'm sick of this thing. It's driving me nuts. I ruined it with all the stuff. But luckily, that is not the case. I didn't ruin it. All this stuff on the truck is not affecting how it drives. I'm ranting at this point. I hope you enjoy it. I'm just very happy my truck is driving good again. Thank you guys for watching this video. I hope it helped you and at all, maybe gave you an idea to check something. I don't know. Hopefully it helped you in any sense. If it did, please hit the like button. If you enjoyed the video, hit that subscribe button. We're on a road to 10,000 subscribers, and we're actually almost there. Kinda. We're 53% of the way to 10,000. If you're curious about the percentage on that. All right, I will see you guys in the next one. Check this video out right here. It's very good, and I will see you in the next one.